Hello first year students. In my last video, I had talked about William Shakespeare and Shakespearean sonnet with the special mention of his two sonnets prescribed in your syllabus, To His Love and Remembrance. Today I'll take up the text of sonnet 18 titled as To His Love. This is the text of the poem. I quote, Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. This is the first quatrain of this sonnet, and the poet starts out by asking or wondering, Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thee means you, his lover. So the poet is asking, should he compare his lover to a summer's day, to a day in summer season? Now you must wonder, why is he comparing his lover to a summer's day? See, in England, summer season is considered a wonderful and enjoyable time, and it's nothing like an Indian summer season when weather is hot and humid with temperature reaching up to 42 to 50 degrees Celsius. Summer in England is quite pleasant. So he is posing a question here whether it would be appropriate to compare his love to a day in summer season, which is regarded as the best and most beautiful thing. Next he says, Thou art more lovely and more temperate. But in this next line, he dismisses his previous thought and says, Thou art more lovely and more temperate. You are more lovely, his lover is more lovely and temperate than a summer's day. Temperate means gentle and pleasant. So the poet's lover is more lovely, more gentle, mild and pleasant in comparison to a day in summer. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Now he starts listing here a series of reasoning why his lover is incomparable and even better than summer. He says, Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. The strong, the harsh winds of summer shake the new flower buds that pop up in the month of May. Harsh, violent winds is a part of summer's nature, but poet's lover is gentle. There is nothing violent in him or her because it's not clear to whom this sonnet is addressed to, but there are some speculation about his lover's identity which are not confirmed. Anyways, next he says, And summer's lease hath all too short a date. Lease means a contract for a certain period of time, like on rent. So the poet says, not only summer is harsh, but it also stays for a very short time, as if summer is on a lease in the weather system. Look how interestingly Shakespeare points at the short summer season by calling it on a lease, like summer is into some agreement for a definite time and then it will be over. So the point here is that summer is harsh and it is also fated to end. So it cannot be compared to his lover. This was the first quatrain. Let's move on to the second quatrain. He says, Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. The poet in the second quatrain continues with his reasoning and argument and says, in summer season, sometime The eye of heaven shines, too hot the eye of heaven shines. Eye of heaven means, and here it refers to the sun. Sometimes in summer season, the sun is too hot. It shines brightly, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. So the poet here is personifying sun who has a golden complexion, having a golden face, and often is his gold complexion dims, and other times his gold complexion is dimmed. Sometimes the sun is shining very brightly, and other times his gold complexion is dimmed. It is without its radiance, it is without its brightness. And every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. So sometimes in summer it is too hot, and sometimes the sun is hidden by the clouds. And it appears his gold complexion is dimmed. So this is another weak point of otherwise beautiful summer season, and that happens probably when the sun is hidden by the clouds, so one cannot even see it at all. And every fair from fair sometime declines by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. Now these lines have a philosophical value. He says, every fair from fair sometimes declines. Fair means beautiful. He says, everything changes with time. Fair means beautiful. Each and every beautiful thing will eventually decline, will eventually fade away. It will die, or it will become less beautiful. Nothing remains the same for forever. And it will happen by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. And this decline will happen by chance, by some accident, or by the rule of nature. Nature's changing course. Untrimmed means without decorations or ornaments. All beautiful things over the time lose their beauty, their trimmings, whether by accident or by nature's changing course. Third quatrain. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou ownest, nor shall death break thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. Thy means your, the poet's beloved. Now, after pointing out to the limitations and shortcomings of summer, the poet starts praising the beauty of his lover. He says, unlike the real summer, his lover's eternal summer will last forever. Thy eternal summer shall not fade. His lover's beauty will last forever. Eternal summer means beautiful, happy time. His happy summer days is eternal. His lover's happy summer days is eternal and will never fade of its charm, nor lose possession of that fair thou ownest. And neither you will lose the beauty that you possess. His beloved's beauty won't decline or degrade as the time goes by. Nor shall death break thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. Death is personified here by the poet, and he says, death won't be able to brag. Brag means to boast about taking his lover under its shade. When in eternal lines to time thou growest. Death won't be able to take his lover under its shade, under its darkness. Because why? When in eternal lines to time thou growest, the beauty of his friend or his lover will live in his poem. Eternal lines, the lines of his poem. The beauty of his lover will live in the lines of his poem through time, through eternity. The death will not be able to boast about taking him to the darkness, to its shade. In his poem, his lover will continue to grow, will continue to stay. Nor shall death break thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. The last two lines, the couplet. So long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Now here the poet is making a prediction that this poem about his beloved's beauty will continue to be read as long as man can live, as long as man can breathe or eyes can see. His lover will grow, will live in the lines he has written for him. And this gives life to thee. And that's how poet will make his friend or lover immortal through his art, through his poetry. So here ends the sonnet to his love. There is one more sonnet by William Shakespeare that I'll be taking up in my next video. Thank you for now.